Hello, everyone. We are very pleased to welcome you today to the live demo of the Peppy benefits platform. We will just give it 60 seconds or so to let everyone join. Just as we were waiting to come in there, Elliot just started sort of laughing a bit, and I was thinking, what's going on? Why is he laughing? Is there something happening? I'm very relieved that it's all
He's laughing at you, not with you, sir.
Yeah, it's always the way, unfortunately. But with both of you, I just don't know until it's too late. So I'm laughing along. Just I'm the subject. Okay, I can see all of the numbers going up really quickly still. So we'll wait for them to settle. Hope everyone's had a good start to the new year. I feel like we are still allowed to say that this week. But it's often a funny time of year, isn't it? So I hope you're all feeling all right. I will get started now. 1 minute past. Numbers are still going up, but we've got a little bit of housekeeping to cover. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. We're going to do a live demo of the Peppy benefits platform here today. You can see on screen, this is the next generation of benefits tech built from the ground up in the last year using AI. First question, why are we using AI? It is because it is better. It's going to make your day-to-day and your employees' day-to-day experience at work easier. And it really is as simple as that. A few bits before we get started. You can see all of our names and titles, but I'm Sarah Redwood. I'm one of the sales team here at Peppy, and I'm joined by Evan and Elliot, who I will let them introduce themselves in a second. The structure of the session today, we've got a couple of poll questions that we are going to ask you in a minute. Then we've got a brief deck that we're just going to run through, which gives you an overview of who we are, how we got here, and why we have built what we have built. And then we're going to show it to you. So we've got a section where we're going to show you inside a live demo of the platform, and you can sort of see some of the key features that we have been building. We've then got a little bit of time at the end for questions and answers. So if you do have any questions, please do put them in the Q&A box as we go. There's a really good, I always say this, but there is a really good chance if you're wondering something that someone else will be too, and you're helping everyone by asking the question you've got. So please, yeah, do ask as we go. Evan might start answering some of them as we go as well. But we'll come to the Q&A section as well at the end. Last thing is that we are recording the session, and we will share it with you afterwards. And what we would love to do, if you are interested to see more, is do a bespoke demo for you, so you can get an idea of what it looks like for your organization, your employees, and obviously have a forum to ask questions that are very specific to you. So I think that's everything I was meant to say at the beginning. So without further ado, I will hand over to Elliot and Evan to introduce themselves. I'll go to you first, Elliot.
Sarah, hey everyone. Yeah, I'm Elliot. I'm the VP of product at Peppy, so kind of responsible for the development of this platform, and I'll be giving you a live demo today.
Thank you, Elliot. And Evan?
Hi everyone, I'm Evan. I'm Peppy co-founder and CEO, and I work very closely with Elliot and our product and engineering team to develop this new piece of software that we're very, very excited about. So looking forward to showing it to you.
Thank you both. Right, to get us started, we have got a couple of polls to help us understand the lay of the land for you all currently. So if we can have the first poll on the screen, please. First question we would love to know is, what is your biggest employee benefits challenge? Is it, I struggle to communicate my benefits utilization is too low, I haven't got enough budget to create a great benefits package, my benefits technology is stuck in the 1900s, but benefits data is all over the shop. OMG, I'm in the all of the above gang. That always makes me smile, that one. And none of the above. Stop moaning. So if everyone can answer that, we will share the results. Waiting for the results to come up. Okay, perfect. So the most common one, yeah, as expected, the OMG, I'm in the all of the above gang. So over a quarter of you saying that all of it's really a challenge for you. And then the other ones are sort of spread really between communication and utilization being the biggest challenge. And then next from there is benefits technology being stuck in the past. So you just haven't got the tech in place to be able to deliver great benefits that you may have. So we'll go on to the next question now. So they can come up on the screen. Am I missing these? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the next question is, on average, during the open decision window, what percentage of your workforce visits your flexible benefits platform and makes the decision? So less than 25%, 25 to 50%, 50 to 75, more than 75, or you're in the dream category and everyone makes a selection. Give everyone a minute there to answer. There's a very strong bit of text at the bottom that says hosts and panelists cannot vote. So in case I'm tempted to contribute to it, I'm not allowed to. So we have the results up. So absolutely no one saying that everyone enrolls, which is exactly as we'd expect. So the most common answer here is less than 25%, actually alongside 50 to 75, and then 25 to 50%. So basically, there's room for improvement across the board, and it seems like there's a real mixture of how well people engage with their benefits platform during the enrollment window. So thank you all very much for taking part in that. And now we will go through our deck and share a little bit about the product that we're going to go through with you today. So we mentioned at the top, but this is a next generation benefits technology platform. Everything is all in one place, and what this delivers for you is an incredible employee experience. So you'll all be very used to using things like Spotify, Netflix, Amazon in your personal lives. No one needs to teach you how to use them. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. And then we get to work, and as some of you described, we've got this, this legacy technology that's really stuck in the past, and it hasn't got that same ease of use and that functionality. So that's what we're bringing in here, is something that is that consumer grade technology for the workplace, and it is available globally. Next slide, please. So a little bit about us. We are a clinical services provider. We work with 200 of the world's best employers. You can see some of the logos there on the screen. And we work with these employers on our clinical services. So things like fertility, menopause, that's probably our most famous one, men's, women's health, these types of services. And the reason we want to share with you that we work with all of these different companies is because we have been through all of the onboarding, the procurement, and crucially the InfoSec with these companies. And we look after special category data, their health data, very sensitive areas of their health for these companies, which has the tightest controls around it. And so we've got this history of rigorous InfoSec and data protection processes internally that we've applied to our new product as well. Now, these companies have also really informed the product that we're about to show you today. We spoke to all of them. We have these amazing clinical services live with them, and we started asking them, they were getting great feedback, but an example might be that on our pregnancy and parenthood product, not 100% of new parents were using it. And we're sort of trying to dig into this, why is that? If you put something that's supporting this group in their hands, you'd think every single person would sign up. And the things that we heard back time and time again were here on the screen. And it sounds like it really aligns with what all of you were saying as well at the beginning. We struggle to communicate our benefits. We've got sort of a one size fits all approach. You might have one email going out about a new benefit or an update or a well-being week to 10,000 employees. And we all know what it's like to be an employee. It's very easy to ignore. If we can't get that part right, the downstream impact of utilization we can't get right either. So people aren't using our benefits in the way that we would like. There's loads of mixed utilization here, and you've sort of been a great example of that with how spread out your utilization was at the beginning. But I think an example of this is an EAP. A great utilization of an EAP is around 5%. And just think about what is in that product and how much is there, but people aren't using it. Crucially, they probably don't know all of the things that are in it. And then it's 2 time consuming and complicated managing our providers and getting data and administering the benefits. So this sounds like it's very similar to what all of you were saying as well. So we weren't solving their biggest problems. So we started looking at the market and seeing, is this the case for everyone else? Do our clients match up with what everyone else is saying? And you can see one of the most recent white papers from Aon last year saying that 82% of companies say their benefits are not well understood by their employees. And then similarly on the communications front, saying that 56% said that communications was their #1 strategic priority for the year ahead. So this was all really aligning with what we were hearing from our clients, and we decided to be really bold, and we just thought we're going to fix this. We want to be the most relevant thing for our clients possible. We want to solve the real problems for them. So that's what we've built. We went really big into machine learning about 2 years ago. And we have spent the last 2 years building the platform that we are about to show you to try and fix these problems. So this is what we're about to go in and demo for you today. Elliot's going to give you a whistle-stop tour. It's an all-in-one modular system, and you can see there that it integrates with your HRIS, HCM, or your payroll system. So we have some information about you, and then there are all of the modules that are available on the right-hand side. So the things we're going to show you today are benefits, premium discounts, reward and recognition, and total reward statements. The big news that we would like to share with you today is that we are building our own flex spends using AI. We're not going to demo this for you today, but we're very, very excited about it. And the AI functionality gives us an exciting opportunity to do lots of cool stuff, which we'll be able to talk a little bit about later on. But that means that we can either have your flex spends that you have already on the left-hand side, where we can take the inputs and use them in the platform, or you will have the opportunity to have our own next generation flex spends module. Is there anything I've missed there, Evan or Elliot, before we jump into the demo?
That sounds great.
Okay, perfect. Just a reminder before I hand over to Elliot, if you do have any questions as we go, please do put them in the Q&A box and we will be able to answer them for you. But for now, I will hand over to Elliot.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. Share. Hopefully the right screen.
Yes.
Fab. Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm going to give you a demonstration of the Peppy platform to kind of talk about how we solved some of those problems that Sarah just articulated. So I'm going to take you through a typical employee onboarding journey to the platform. So for most of the demo, we're going to be looking at this about how your employees would see and interact with the platform and solve some of the problems that you're seeing. I'll also show some bits that we've developed for individuals like yourself, benefits professionals, people in HR, and some of the tools, data and information that we can arm you with to kind of help you make better informed decisions about your benefits. And I'll take you through some of the comms, show you examples of some of the emails that the platform sends out. So a couple of things to note before I jump in. The first is the platform is fully white labelable. So the platform will look and feel like your company, like your brand. So we're demoing today as a Peppy employee. So we've got the Peppy colors, but this can be replaced with your colors, your logo to make it look and feel like one of your tools. The other thing to note is today I will be onboarding as Ella, not Elliot. So Ella is a fictional person we often use in demos. So Ella is a 52-year-old female, and the system already knows that because we've integrated with your HRIS system. So like Sarah mentioned, we can piggyback off your existing flex spends provider. We can do your flex spends if you want, but in kind of all of these scenarios, we'll be integrating with your HRIS to pull through certain information that allows us to do really personalized, targeted outreach launch emails, but also enables really quick sign-on and onboarding to the platform once people land at this screen. So the first thing that one of your employees will do would be to land on this welcome screen and put in their address. So there's a number of different options to sign into the platform. The onboarding is all about being super slick. We want it to be very quick, very easy. We want really high adoption of this product. And so there's a couple of different options people can use to sign on. You can go through SSO, So examples here are Google and Microsoft, but we can work with whatever SSO provider you have. Or some of you may be familiar with Magic Link. It's just another way of piggybacking off your existing enterprise security kind of controls and things that you have in place. And so if you want, you can send a Magic Link to your email and sign in through that. So for today, I'll sign in through SSO. And once you've created an account, you're into the onboarding. So like I mentioned, we already have a little bit of information about you. So we know your age, we know your gender, we know your location. So perhaps you have a global workforce. It's really important that we know where exactly you're situated. And really importantly, we know your flex spends decisions. So there'll be a ton of benefits that everyone gets, but there'll be certain benefits that only certain individuals get or have opted into. So we already know all of this information because we pulled this from your systems as part of implementation. And so the last bit of onboarding is just kind of taking that view we have of you and kind of taking it to another level to enable us to be really, really personalized in everything that you see in the platform. So the platform is all about personalization. Every single person gets a different view of the platform. They get their own benefit recommendations, their own email communications. It's all targeted to you. So the first thing we're going to ask is if you have a preferred name. So maybe you like to be called John instead of Jonathan. Again, personalization kind of hitting you with your tone. It's just something that we ask up front. And then we're going to ask you 2 questions. So the first is around interest areas. So like I mentioned, Peppy is all about being personalized to you as an individual. And we'll kind of show how that works in a second. But there's lots of factors that impact the types of benefits that you might be interested in, the benefits that you want to explore, utilize. Obviously, a big thing is your age and your gender. So myself as a 35-year-old guy, I'm probably interested in slightly different benefits than I was when I was 18. Or maybe when I'm 65, again, I'll be interested in a different substack of benefits. And equally, if I was a 35-year-old female, the type of benefits that I'll be interested in are very different. So we give people options to kind of tell us about of areas of their life that they're interested in or focus in. So this could be goals, areas they're looking to improve. This list is dynamic, depending on your age, depending on your gender, you see different things. But to kind of give you an idea of how this works, I'll select mental health, money management, and women's health. And then the last question we're going to ask you about is another question that really helps us to personalize your benefits package and make sure you're getting the most out of it. And that's pre-existing medical conditions. So if you have a pre-existing medical condition, again, it's likely to have a very strong impact on the types of benefits that you might be interested in, the types of benefits that you might interact with. We'll talk a bit about preventative health in a minute as well. Pre-existing medical conditions have a big impact on the type of preventive health measures you should be taking. So I'll select diabetes here to kind of show you how it works and how that plays through into the platform. And then onboarding is done. So I know I've spoken quite a lot, so it probably took 5 minutes, but as an employee signing up to the platform, it's 3 or 4 clicks. So you hit the home screen, SSO in, 2 questions, and you're into the platform. And we've kind of really optimized this user journey to be as slick and quick as possible. Because Peppy is all about helping your employees get the most out of their benefits package, helping them to utilize benefits, utilize the right benefits. We can only do that if we get really high adoption. And so the next thing I'm going to do is hit continue. And what our system is going to do is it's going to take all that information that it's gathered on me. So my age, my gender, my pre-existing medical conditions, flex spends decisions, things that I'm interested in, my kind of health and goals. And it's going to play back my benefits to me in a carousel. So there's a lot to digest and a lot to talk about on this screen. The first thing I'll draw your note to is the number of benefits that I have access to. So we've configured a fairly standard benefits package in the back end here. So we have Vitality, private medical cover, there's a pension plan, there's an EAP, and 1 or 2 other things. So kind of on your standard benefits portal or the PDF you get sent on day 1 to say what benefits you have available to you, you might have 6 or 7 listed benefits in there. But really, these 6 or 7 benefits represent 118 different products. And the core principle that underlines the entire product and what you're seeing here is a term called unbundling. So we take these really big benefits and we break them down into kind of digestible bite-sized chunks. So a really, really good example of that is an EAP. So an EAP is this big benefit. It's very poorly understood by employees in the workforce. It's very difficult to communicate because there's so much in an EAP. It's couples and relationships counseling, financial well-being support, mental health support, bereavement support. There's all of these different things. And so what we do at Peppy is we take these benefits that you offer your employees and we break them down into these different parts. And so you can see an example of this here. So Health Assured is the EAP that's part of this benefits package. I expressed an interest in money management as part of onboarding. And so we're picking this unbundled part of the EAP and surfacing it to an employee. Another really good example, of course, is PMI. So PMI is so many different things, and it can mean a million different things to a million different people. It could be cancer support, or it could be the 50% you get off running shoes as part of the vitality package. So again, we take these big benefits like PMI and we break them down into different chunks. And you can see a couple of examples of how PMI is surfaced here. So the PMI package is vitality, but this particular person was interested in mental health. And so Headspace is free as part of the vitality package. And so it's picked out that little bit of the PMI package and surfaced it to someone. They also said that they had diabetes. So the at-home blood tests and the dietitian consultation are very, very relevant to this person. And again, these are little bits that are cherry picked out of the vitality package and surfaced to people. And the result of that is that you end up with this carousel that we like to think of like a Spotify playlist. So old benefit communications are very difficult. It's kind of like listening to the radio. Everyone has the same message and gets kind of communicated the same thing. Whereas with Peppy, we see this more like a Spotify playlist. So based on your interests, based on your interactions with the product, based on things we learn about you, we present to you what we feel are the most relevant benefits to you, which in turn kind of leads to better benefit adoption, better utilization, and really importantly, people using the right part of their benefits package. So within each benefit, if I click into one to show you, we have lots of information. So here's an example of an unbundled product from Peppy's clinical services. So our menopause consultation is one of the things that we offer as part of the menopause service. So for each benefit, we provide an overview of the benefit, lots of details on what's included. How much does it cost me as an employee to access it? What are the FAQs I want? How do I access it? But instead of just like go and download the app, it's very detailed instructions on download the app. Here's the QR code. Go to this section of the app. We kind of want to handhold your employees through the experience so that they get to the right outcome as quickly as possible. The other thing to note is all of the information here can be specific to you as an employer, and it can also be specific to your employees. So a really good example of this is private healthcare. Maybe you have different tiers of private healthcare, or you have grandfathered agreements from staff that you two-peed over from a different organization and are now part of yours. Everyone sees the right information that's specific to them. So they only see benefits that they've enrolled into or are eligible to enroll into, and they only see the correct information based on their entitlements and what you offer them. So every single product card is specific to each individual. So once we're all through onboarding, people can jump into the platform. So I'll kind of give you a whistle-stop tour of some of the key features of the platform, but I hope the thing that kind of really jumps out to you from looking at this screen, looking at the onboarding, is this really feels like modern consumer-grade technology. It's kind of really slick and nice to use. The designs are really nice, and with your branding, it kind of looks and feels like one of your products as well. So here we're on the benefit screen, and this is where employees can come and they can browse through their different benefits. So we pick out 3 benefits that we think are particularly relevant to you. We organize your benefit screen according to your interest areas. So the mental health products that you have, money management, women's health. As you interact with the product and we learn more about you, these shelves update. So perhaps when you joined Peppy and signed up, you're interested in fertility. Perhaps we then start to identify that you're looking at breastfeeding lactation consultations with Peppy, which kind of suggests that maybe you're past your fertility journey and you now have a child. So the product evolves and learns with you so that it's always relevant when you log into the platform. People can always search for benefits, so just use keyword search, and we have categories along the top here too. So if I click into, for example, the fitness and nutrition category, it's going to pick out the benefits from my package that are relevant to fitness and nutrition. Now, this particular employee has a good benefits package. They have PMI. A lot of these products are from PMI. They get Peppy. They have access to an EAP and Cycle to Work scheme. But we also have lots and lots of clients where their employees don't get access to PMI, or perhaps they don't have the Cycle to Work scheme. And so you can imagine a world where someone clicks on the fitness and nutrition part category in the benefits, and maybe instead of 10, there's 2, or maybe there's none. And that's where we also think we can add a lot of value in pulling through external support services that are also relevant to these areas. So there are a ton of incredible products out there that are often free. They're provided by charities, NHS. Some of them are paid. We make it very clear. And we kind of cherry pick what we feel are the best products out there relevant to each category. So maybe you don't provide any fitness and nutrition benefits to this particular person, to your workforce, but why not tell them about the Couch to 5K program? It's a really, really good program. It's out there, it's free, it's proven to work. Like, this is the kind of thing that people might want to access. So Peppy's all about kind of bringing all of these products together into one place for your employees to interact with. The next part that I'll just quickly talk through is discounts. So we also have discounts on the platform. So similar to your reward gateways, Perkbox, employees can come in, browse, and purchase discounts from the platform. So we match all the big providers in terms of the discount rate. So everything you expect to see in here is in here, from Nike, Apple to Morrison, Sainsbury's, Tesco, all of the big brands, all of the expected retailers are in here. We match the rates provided by everyone in the market. But where we can really differentiate ourselves is, instead of saying, here's 1,500 discounts, work out what you want, we also personalize these. So based on your interest, based on what you've told us, we'll pick out the discounts that we think are relevant to you. And again, you can see an example here of kind of surfacing the 3 that we think are most relevant to you from your particular discounts package. The next thing I'll just quickly jump into is to kind of take you through the home screen. So employees will land on the home screen when they return to the platform again in the future. And again, it's all about being personalized. So we pick out the benefits that we think are most relevant for you. Here are the discounts we think that you are most relevant. I'll talk about total reward in a second, but again, this is on the home screen and kind of keeping things relevant and personalized to you. And the other thing that people can do is we can kind of leverage AI to help people interact with their benefits, discounts, and other services available to them. So I can give you an example of how this works here. So maybe you're struggling to sleep. What the system will do is it will take this query, and using AI, we'll do a couple of things. So the first is on the right, you'll see we provide a smart summary. So kind of an overview of what you might be struggling with, and some kind of hints and tips, all with a view to get you to the right part of your benefit stack. The other thing to note is this is all relevant to you. So a 52-year-old woman who's struggling with sleep will get a very different answer to a 30-year-old guy struggling with sleep. If you're 52-year-old and you're female, then maybe it's to do with the menopause, for example, and the system kind of knows that and targets it to you. And then the other thing that it will do is it will pick out the relevant parts of your benefits package that it thinks is relevant to this particular query. So this is another really good example of an unbundled product. So you saw during onboarding, we had the meditation support part of Headspace. Because this person's now struggling with sleep, it's actually picked up the sleep support part of Headspace. So Headspace has all these different features. There's different things for different needs within the product. Struggling with sleep, surface the sleep support. But again, coming back to the point I was talking about earlier, in a world where perhaps this individual doesn't have access to Headspace because they don't have PMI, we'll also surface the discounts that we think are relevant. So why not think about an Oura Ring or an Apple Watch? They're kind of best-in-class sleep trackers. Maybe you want to use that to keep on top of your sleep. But equally, Sleepio is a fantastic sleep product. It's free, similar with Calm. There's lots of free elements to that. Why not surface these things to people? And so kind of Peppy is all about connecting you to the right product at the right time. A lot of the time that'll be a benefit provided by your employer, but sometimes it won't be. And kind of we kind of do this all in one place in a really easy to digest format. The other bit I'll quickly take you through is total rewards. So there's lots of work in the background going on to kind of improve this and make this better. But total rewards, again, we kind of feel we can add a lot of value. So in addition to all the stuff you expect to see, like the package broken down, we'll also do things like include savings as part of the total package that you've made through the platform. Again, we can use AI to kind of bring this total reward statement to the 21st century and kind of 10x the impact of it. So the messaging around total reward should be very different for different people. So the value of a pension to someone who's 2 years from retirement is very different to the value of the pension from someone who's just starting work. And equally, for someone who's struggling or has diabetes, the PMI is kind of a bigger impact to you. So why should the messaging be exactly the same for everyone with regards to their total rewards? So total reward and using AI is all about really shining a spotlight on the package that you give your employees and trying to make it very personalized, targeted, and relevant to them. My choices section is where people will go to make benefits decisions. So maybe there's an annual enrollment for PMI, or maybe they want to opt into the cycle to work or an anytime benefit. That will all be available through the My Choices section. And then lastly, in the platform, I'll just switch to the admin view. So we're now looking at the platform from your perspective. So from the benefit buyer, from someone in the people team, the HR team, whoever it may be. So another kind of strong belief that we have at Peppy is that we want to enable you to do your jobs better and more effectively. And a way that we can help you do that is providing you with really interesting and real-time data on platform usage. So we'll provide all of the stuff that you expect to see there. So how many people have signed up, how many people are active, how many benefit clicks that they have. But we can start to do really interesting things with regards to people's usage and behavior patterns on the platform. So what were the most selected areas of interest during onboarding? How does this vary by age group? And then really interestingly, how do these areas of interest map to benefits that you have in your package? So do you have like a huge amount of people interested in, if we use the fertility example, again, during onboarding, but when you actually compare this to your package, you don't have anything in there. Equally, on the other end, is there a category that kind of never comes up, but you have lots of benefits there, and perhaps you could look to optimize this? And we can provide information on onboarding categories, the types of stuff people are searching for, what people are clicking on, what benefits get the most follow through to kind of click through to them, kind of all with a view to enable you to be more effective in designing your benefits package and understanding your employees' wants and needs. And of course, you'll be able to filter it by location, dates, roles, all of this kind of stuff, just so long as it doesn't get down to an individual basis, because all of this data is anonymized and aggregated. That's a quick run through of the platform. Before I jump into the emails, was there any bits I missed from the platform, Ev?
No, you did a very good job, Elliot.
Thanks. Fab. So I'll just jump over to emails now. So like emails is another feature of the platform that we feel really strongly about. So we hear time and time again that it's very, very difficult to communicate benefits. And our strong belief is that there's two big factors that play into this. One is you're communicating, like we talked about earlier, very, very big, broad benefits. So a really good example is PMI. You have access to PMI. There's a ton of different things in there, and it means very different things to different people. Similar with EAP. The messaging, it's very hard to be personalized. It's very hard to be relevant to an individual when you're communicating a benefit that covers so many things. So by unbundling these benefits, it allows us to be super specific, super targeted with our recommendations, with our communications that we make to people. But even when you've broken these benefits down into these component parts, so you have the EAP broken down into 7 products, the PMI all of a sudden is these 50 different bits. We know all of this information about you. It's almost impossible for you to write 10,000 emails for your 10,000 employees every week, or however frequently your communication comes out. But again, kind of with the advent of advances in technology and with AI, we can write completely bespoke emails for each individual. So this is a really good example here. So every single email that an employee receives through the platform is written entirely bespoke for them. So it takes into account all of the information we know about you, your age, your gender, things you're interested in, your interactions in the platform, what benefits you're eligible for, what benefits you've enrolled in. And it uses that to cherry pick certain benefits in this example. So here it's picked out the dietitian consultation, but the messaging is kind of targeted to me. So it's talking about why this is relevant to me. It's talking about what's in the product. And every single person will get a different email. So you can imagine if I was a guy, it might have picked out a different benefit. And we can do lots and lots of really interesting things with emails. So we'll work with you on your preferred cadence. We'll work with you on the types of messaging, the type of tone that you want in your emails. And then we can also do really cool things around awareness days, for example. So maybe you have a mental health awareness day at your work. Why should the messaging for the exec be the same as the messaging for an apprentice who's first started? They're probably under very different stresses, different strains. And so Peppy's all about meeting everyone at their level, using all the information that we've gathered on you to provide this kind of bespoke, personalized communication campaign. And we'll work with you to design that and bring it to life for your employees, all with a view to highlighting the relevant benefits and getting better adoption of the right products that you offer your employees. I've talked for a long time. I think that's kind of me done for the demo, and I will hand back to Sarah and Evan.
Thanks, Elliot. Yeah, that was really comprehensive. So thank you for running through everything. We've had a few questions come through in the chat. So I'm going to actually just ask Evan if he can expand on a couple of those. There's one actually that really aligns with a question that we get more generally, which is how does the platform, or can the platform, cope with different populations within an organization, or what is the level of personalization that you as the organization can offer different employees? So Evan, would you mind speaking a bit more about that?
Yeah, so the first one, it can be available in the US, yes, and it's a global product. So one of the things we've heard a lot of input in from a lot of employers is that idea that we want global benefits parity. It's very, very hard to deliver, but we think you can deliver kind of parity of user experience. So you can give this, incredible kind of consumer grade experience to your entire global workforce. We've already unbundled, obviously the UK, we've got I think literally 3,000 products, but we've done India, we've done Italy, we've done Ireland, and we've done the US. So we've completely proved the concept that this is an exceptionally effective way of managing global benefits. And then when it comes to the sort of customization, basically everything is employer specific. So, just using the UK, we would ask you to give us your headline benefits, what they are. We've already unbundled them, so we can sort of get them into the format that Elliot showed within like 10 minutes. But then we'd also like to see, for instance, your PMI policy document, which will allow us to do all the nitty gritty to make sure it's entirely accurate. And then we'd send it back to you and say, right, sign this off, because it's your platform. You decide what's on, everything that your employees see, you have complete control of. So we'd like you to look at it, sign it off, any changes, you control it. So literally everything your employer sees is yours. So even though it might be the same, a benefit like vitality, Peppy's vitality information could be completely different to your information. You're completely in control. The user journeys also came up. So we hear, for instance, that some employers have got virtual GPs that they think are underutilized. So they find out, for instance, their employee is in an NHS GP queue, and they sit there and say, why are they waiting for the NHS when we provided a GP? We have other employers who say, oh my God, the virtual GPs are being overutilized and actually spiking our private medical insurance claims, and therefore spiking our premium inflation, and we've got to control that. So in that scenario, for instance, we could dial down the VGP and we could put in front of that journey some of the cheaper digital products, or we could re-emphasize the VGP. You tell us what you're trying to achieve. We'll obviously work with you to determine, what are your key goals, and we'll have our own knowledge of what works with other clients. But every single thing can be specific to you as a client. So like your platform, you're in control. So that's the very key part of the platform. It's completely flexible in a way that kind of earlier iterations of software just isn't. We can make everything hyper personalized.
Brilliant. Thanks, Evan. And since you've been speaking, there are a couple more questions that have opened up. So one is someone referencing the reward and recognition. And if you can talk a little bit about that, and can people have a pot and choose what they want to invest in, and top up with their own money if necessary? So can you talk a little bit about what that module will look like?
Yeah, it's a shame we can't demo it right now because it's just about to be released. It's so cool. It's phenomenal. And it's incredibly flexible. So this is where it's hard to kind of impart this on a call like this, but the AI allows a level of flexibility in not just the user experience, but in the software development. So we can do things much, much faster. We can literally say, okay, you have a different, say, business rule around your rewards. So you might say, I don't know, level 3 management, get a maximum of £200 each or anything. You can actually, with us, you can put that in natural language. You can say level 3 managers have got, maximum of 300. You might decide to change to 500. You might decide to put in a different rule. That just goes in natural language and it's instantly deployed. So literally wait till you see the what we've got coming there. It's genuinely incredible. We'll have it very soon. But basically, it's almost like if you can think of it, we can do it. That's the difference. So if you think again, early iterations of software, you kind of give your requirements, they get hard coded. You want to change them, it takes 2 years. All of that is over with AI, and we're going to be able to show you that things like that very, very quickly, very soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Evan. Another great question that comes up a lot. Is this a standalone product or do you need to offer the Peppy app to employees as well? So I'm assuming that question is, do you need to have Peppy's clinical services offered as well, or can you buy it separately?
Sarah, you always forget to say this at the start. So we're completely committed to the clinical product that's being delivered side by side. We're very passionate about all the impact that makes. There's no requirement whatsoever to have both in any combination. We'd obviously like you to. The Peppy clinical services work incredibly well on the platform because they're very wide and they're very deep. And even with our own user base, we find out, oh, you didn't realize that within fertility service, for instance, there's a men's semen analysis service. You might not know that's there. So actually, the whole platform has been sort of informed, inspired by our clinical product. But yeah, they both operate concurrently. There's no obligation to have both.
Yeah. It's a very key part that I do miss at the beginning, so I'll add that into future introductions. I'm going to ask one question that's here and one question that we get a lot before we wrap up. So someone asking if this is live with any of our clients currently, any of our big clients currently. If Evan, you can answer that.
Just about to be. Yeah, so we're just about to launch a couple of clients. So it's early days, but there's been a pretty phenomenal response to this.
And then the question that isn't actually in the Q&A, but we get a lot, is what controls or guardrails there are in place around the AI. And I do think that's a really helpful one to answer for people. Yeah, so for instance, you saw Elliot give you an example of a hyper-personalized email, and you might be wondering, well, I'm used to signing off a specific template, and I know it's 100% okay. What happens if you open it up to AI and that personalization? The answer is we can put like very serious guardrails around what goes into that. So you could have like quite a fixed template that just varies a bit, and we can tell it, don't do this, don't do that. And so we tested this to death now. The AI now is good enough off the shelf to not basically go crazy. But in a demo, as we go further in the kind of process, we could show you how that works and give you that level of assurance you need. So we're very it's very controlled. It's very it's got a lot of guardrails around it. And actually that's where our clinical kind of experience from the clinical product comes in. We're used to dealing with this. We've been doing it for years, right? So 27001, we're registered by a healthcare company. We take this very, very seriously. Brilliant. Thank you, Evan. I'm conscious that we've got 1 minute left and there are a few questions we haven't got to. There are also a lot of questions that typically come up in a one-to-one setting that we haven't got to. So if anyone would like to book a demo, we're going to drop a link in the chat box now. So you can just click straight in there and book a time that works for you, and we can do a bespoke demo, give you a forum to ask questions, and we can answer them there and then. We will also follow up with you on email, send you through the recording, and yeah, the ask is if you'd like to see a demo personally, we would love to take you through it firsthand. Big thank you for giving us your time, 45 minutes on the third day lunchtime in the middle of January. And apart from that, just a big thank you from all of us for joining.
Thanks. If you've just got any questions that aren't answered, just contact us and we'll answer directly as well.
Through, yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.